Present.
Mr. Pissarro?
Present.
Mr. Wallace?
Present.
Mr. Vaccaro?
Present.
Also for the record, present is our attorney, Angela Katsoris, and our business administrator, Donna Marcouli. So, and just walked in, sorry, I want to, for the record, is Diane Lapp. She is our chief financial officer. Okay. So first on the agenda is submission of bills. The first one is 16-235, and that is our current fund in the amount of $1,090,265.24.
Mr. President, I reviewed the bills for all three lists and found everything to be in order.
Does council have any questions on these bills?
No.
I need a motion and a second to approve these bills for payment.
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk, may we have roll call, please?
Mr. Frattini?
Yes.
Mr. Weiner?
I'd like to vote yes on all bills except for two checks. Checks number 2284 and check number 54071. The checks made out to Dassey Murphy and McGuffey. I'd like to abstain from them because of perception of conflict.
So noted. Mr. Pissarro?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And Mr. Vaccaro?
Yes.
Okay, next under submission of bills, 16-236. This is our Eastern Service Area Utility Fund in the amount of $90,546.91.
Does council have any questions on these bills?
No.
I need a motion and a second to approve these bills for payment.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, may we have roll call, please?
Mr. Frattini?
Yes.
Mr. Weiner?
Yes.
Mr. Pissarro?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And Mr. Vaccaro?
Yes.
Last under submission of bills is 16-237. This is our Western Service Area Utility Fund in the amount of $67,039.36.
Does council have any questions on these bills? I need a motion and a second to approve these bills for payment.
So moved.
Madam Clerk, may we have roll call, please?
Mr. Frattini?
Yes.
Mr. Weiner?
Yes.
Mr. Pissarro?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And Mr. Vaccaro?
Yes.
Okay. That brings us to our ordinances. We have two under second reading, public hearing, and final action this evening. The first is 16-024, and it's an ordinance of the Township of Manchester County, Ocean State of New Jersey, amending Article 4, Bodies of Water, Chapter 288, Sections 21 and 24 of the Township Code concerning recreation. After some review of this ordinance by administration, the attorney, and myself, we found that there were some additional changes that really did need to be made to this ordinance. So our suggestion is that perhaps we defeat this and take this off the books, because you will see under first reading that we do have a new recreation ordinance.
I have a motion and a second to disapprove the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, may we have roll call, please?
Mr. Frattini?
Yes.
Mr. Weiner?
Yes.
Mr. Pissarro?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And Mr. Vaccaro?
Yes.
Okay, so that is defeated. That will move us to the second one, which is 16-025, which is an ordinance of the Township of Manchester County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of Block 31.02, Lot 2, and that's 2643 Ridgeway Road.
Does council have any comments or questions on this ordinance?
No.
Now open this portion of the meeting to the public for any comments or questions on the ordinance. I will now close that portion of the meeting. I'll be asking for a motion and a second to approve the ordinance.
Second.
Madam Clerk, may we have roll call, please?
Mr. Frattini?
Yes.
Mr. Weiner?
Yes.
Mr. Pissarro?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And Mr. Vaccaro?
Yes.
That ordinance is adopted. That brings us to ordinances first reading and introduction. The first one is 16-026, ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Manchester County, Ocean State of New Jersey, accepting the donation of Block 99.152, Lot 4, and that's 1620 New York Avenue.
Does council have any comments or questions about the ordinance? This is the first reading, thus there will be no discussion or comments from the public. May I have a motion and a second to move the ordinance to second reading? So moved. Madam Clerk, may we have roll call, please?
Mr. Frattini?
Yes.
Mr. Weiner?
Yes.
Mr. Pissarro?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And Mr. Vaccaro?
Yes.
Okay. And the last under first reading is 16-027, which is an ordinance of the Township of Manchester County, Ocean State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 288, Sections 9, 10, 21, and 24 of the Township Code concerning recreation.
Does council have any comments or questions relative to the ordinance?
Yeah, and this is for Angela. Is there any opportunity to restrict the use of the paddlers? Because it's on the whoever has a badge. You should be able to.
Go ahead. There you go.
My single meeting. With regard to use of the actual pedal boats, I don't know how we acquired them or what funds were used to acquire them. I don't know. Say that again, I'm sorry.
We had bought them, but everything else down there just comes under Green Acres, so I don't know if that's going to play into.
Right. I'm gonna have to do research. I mean, I know you wouldn't be able to restrict with Green Acres use of the water itself, but with regard to the use of township-owned equipment, I think it's a very good question. I will look into it and I will get back to you.
Yeah, I think there'd only be a one-word change.
Right. And I think I also, this change to the ordinance, this was in the prior version, instead of having minutia about the pedal boats and use of equipment, it now states that it'll be promulgated by the recreation director, so we don't have to have an ordinance change every time we're saying something about the equipment that someone is using. So we may be able to address it that way.
Any other questions or comments? Again, this is the first reading, thus there's no discussion or comment from the public. May I have a motion and a second to move the ordinance to second reading?
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk, may we have roll call, please?
Mr. Fratini?
Yes.
Mr. Weiner?
Yes.
Mr. Fisaro?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And Mr. Vaccaro?
Yes.
Okay, that will be second read on July the 11th. That moves us to our consent agenda this evening. We have various items. Under finance, we have two. One is refunds requested by the tax collector. The second is authorizing execution of reimbursement agreements with qualified private communities. That's, we all know as our Dorsey bill. So it's reimbursement to the senior communities. And we have a few under contracts and agreements. The first is authorizing the contract and appointment of CGP&H LLC as the Affordable Housing Administrative Agent. That's the one that we have done previously. We're doing it for a 6-month period so we can be on schedule for our professional services in January, as we usually do all of our professional services and get our RFPs and bids in. Approving a developer's agreement with JPP Holdings LLC, and that's for block 60.10, lot 1, and that's 2473 Route 70. That is directly across from the landfill. We are authorizing a contract with Mitchell Humphrey Fast Track Gov for VOI, and that's for software that they have been using all along, so it's nothing new. This is just renewal. Authorizing a lease agreement with New Singular Wireless PCS LLC. That's for block 75, lot 82.02. And that's for the tower. Our lease agreement with them previously was with Crestwood Water, it's now with the township. We have a change order number 1 to contract with Stefan Drilling LLC for utility well rehabilitation. And we have under licensing, authorizing renewal of consumption liquor licenses. I did add Linda's Pizzeria to that list, so they are in addition to that, so we should be completed with a renewal on our consumption liquor licenses. Bonds and escrow, release of utility performance guarantee and escrows for block 38, lot 4, which is 2132 Highway 37. And we have 2 appointments, amending a contract appointing the township engineer, William White of Baser Consulting. Chris Theodos is leaving Baser Consulting, and William White will be taking his place as the engineer on record. We are appointing an acting director of utilities, which will be Ali Yadak, is taking the place of Mr. Don Somerset, who is retiring. And we have under miscellaneous, authorizing disposition of seized forfeited vehicle, disposition of salvage of computer equipment, disposition or salvage of township-owned vehicles, and we have a donation of some used office equipment, I believe it's a printer, to the Manchester Fire Company, number 1, and disposition or salvage of an abandoned vehicle in our possession.
Does council have any comments or questions on these resolutions? No. We will now open the floor to members of the public that have any comments or questions only to these resolutions.
Hey, Glenn, my wife. Affordable Housing Administrative Agent, what is he? What does he do?
Well, the CDGH that we're talking about,
Yes,
that's
yes.
actually a company that we hired to oversee a home improvement program where we take funds from the affordable housing fund and we offer it to the residents. I think we had a conversation about this before that you might have been projecting on, where we give loans to residents so they can fix their houses up, and I think it's after 10 years that they don't have to be paid off as long as they follow the rules. So that's what they're doing now. They're vetting out the applicants and going through the process of getting those loans secured for them.
And this here contract that we're signing with him for that period of time, is that per hour?
Well, it depends on each particular job they do with a different amount of money. Some of
And
it's-
the reason I'm saying that, I'm looking how much we're paying for the bills just this month. It's over $7,000. Who gets a report?
Well, initially, when we went out to bid for that, and that was the best, lowest and the best bidder that we found with this project. And that is not something that someone within this municipality could do at the time, unfortunately. And we want to offer these funds to the public, so that's the service that we have to use.
Okay, with that $7,000 bill that he submitted, how many houses did he take care of? Or how many
They
houses
actually
did he take
gave
care of?
a breakdown, like, in front of me, I have here. They have a couple houses that are close to completion, to close on, when I mean closing, we have loan. They have bid openings scheduled in 1, 2, 3, 4 cases. They have other, their eligibility reviews that are being done. There's cases that were reviewed and terminated. So they give us a list of all the, the amount of work that they're doing.
So there is somebody that does check on it to make sure it is.
Yes, well, we have Martin Lynch, who's our tax assessor, but also the affordable housing liaison.
And all the invoices were attached to the bill that was approved. And when I reviewed it last night, well, everything was there.
And what about the rental on the cell tower? How much is the township benefiting from that?
That would be $4,000.
A month?
And
$4,000.
an increase of what, 3% every year thereafter?
2.
Oh, 2%?
Thank you.
Anyone else with questions on the resolution? We'll now close that portion of the meeting. And may I have a motion and a second to approve the resolutions?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
And clerk, may we have roll call?
Mr. Fagini?
Yes.
Mr. Weiner?
Yes.
Mr. Pissarro?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace? And Mr. Vaccaro?
Yes.
Okay. That brings us to our reports this evening.
Amy?
Thank you. I guess most of you were over at Manchester Day this past Saturday. It was a beautiful day, and it was run beautifully by our recreation director, Tracy Lynch. Her daughter, Cassidy Vogel, was the DJ and did a heck of a job. She really did. And she was MC of the entire program. We had the mayor doing his dunk tank thing, and unfortunately I wasn't there to dunk him while he was in the seat. It would have been my pleasure to throw a ball that dunked him. But he wasn't there when I was there. I give up now.
A few things tonight. First and foremost, if you read the newspaper, you see that there's a new plan in place. The Christie's trying to push with regards to school funding formula and creating a new fair share per se. We all know the issues with the current school funding formula and how it's disappropriated money to Manchester Township. This new program, if it ever gains momentum and gets passed, would include a flat $6,599 per pupil formula for every student in every county in New Jersey. The increase would equate to about 247% increase in Manchester Township. So we're talking about millions of dollars of aid coming to Manchester Township. Now, is this going to take off? Is it not going to take off? We don't know. It's so premature, and it's an uphill battle. But I urge you, the folks here tonight, that if there's anything that you can do to talk this up, and there are petitions online that you can sign up for, and I also urge the council to possibly consider doing a resolution at the next council meeting to let the folks know in Trenton that we are on board with this program and we want to see it come to fruition. We work up here all the time and trying to save a few dollars here and there, and we have an opportunity here to try to push something that's millions of dollars maybe. So definitely something that we need to look into closely. Also something that's near and dear to my heart, I want to tell you about the New Jersey Choose Your Cover Day. This is a free skin cancer screening and education seminar that's going to be conducted at the beach in July 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be at Asbury Park, Belmar, Bradley Beach, Brick Beach 3, Island Beach State Park, and Shipbog. And on July 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., it's going to be at 7 Presidents in Long Branch. There's more information if you go online at njcancer.gov to find out more about the program. I urge you, if you haven't gotten a skin cancer checkup, this is a good opportunity for you to do that. My father passed away of skin cancer at the age of 65 years old, and it does take its toll on people. So if you haven't gotten a checkup, this is a golden opportunity for you to get a free checkup. And there's plenty of times and dates available for you. Also, I did attend the Ocean County Mosquito Commission meeting last week, and we did receive the new mosquito catchers and the traps, and we do plan on putting these out in the next week or so. These particular traps are not the normal traps that we use, but these traps are geared towards catching the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which is the mosquito that carries the Zika virus that we hear about. To date, again, to make it clear, the Ocean County Mosquito Commission has yet to date to find an Aedes aegypti mosquito in Ocean County. The CDC has maps indicating that this mosquito could potentially make its way here, and we realize it could potentially make its way here, oftentimes by hitching a ride from somebody coming from another area, and those are things that we're very cautious about, and those are the reasons why we're targeting tourist areas to set these traps. So we're going to be putting these traps probably up in like Island Beach State Park, Long Beach Island, where we would see the influx of tourists coming into the area, and we're going to monitor it carefully. As of last week, there were 755 cases of the Zika virus in the United States. However, none of those were from local transmission. So to date, there's been no Zika, as far as we know, no local transmission in the United States of Zika virus. Lastly, I will be on vacation in upstate New York and will not be able to attend the July 11th council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Wallace?
Just a couple of things. To expand on the school funding, I've been preaching this for like 6 years, I think. The equal amount for every student in the state is something that I believe in for a long time. I agree with the governor on it. I think it has to be refined a lot more. Diane and I did some quick calculations today. For our average house, which is $157,000, if it went with the numbers that he said, it would be about $500 a year less in taxes for school tax. If you have a $300,000 house, you're looking at $1,000 less a year. So it's really serious money, and the easiest, not the easiest, but it is a way to actually lower our taxes to where you actually notice it. So I'm glad that the governor has finally come forward and said something about trying to balance it out. Sweeney also has a plan, but he wants to go more on the traditional value that's out there now, and I still don't think that's the answer. I don't understand how, if I'm in Newark, it costs me $30,000 to educate a kid. If I'm in Manchester, it costs me $13,000 or $14,000. You know, I just don't see how the difference in money happens. And I can understand up there, you're giving me a bunch of bucks for nothing. I'm going to spend all those dollars. So, I mean, they're getting ridiculous amounts of money. It's about $10 billion in the school funding budget from the state. You have 31 admin districts, or admin districts, that are getting over 50% of that money, and the other 500 and something are getting the other less than $5 million. I think it's a ridiculous formula they have now, and they need to change it. We've talked to Senator Holtzapfel about it before. He supports the same thing. You know, if you have a kid, no matter where he's in state, you know, this is money we got, we went over that total number, and that's what you get, and make it work. Now, I understand the other part where some of these districts would be decimated. You're looking at Newark. They would lose over 50% of their funding, and it's going to hurt them. But there's got to be a happy segue in there somewhere, and hopefully the governor and Sweeney are starting to talk down and we'll work out something that's more equitable. I don't think it's fair for me to have to pay a higher school tax. Also, I have to pay income tax that goes to another area to support their schools. It's not fair. So they need to figure out, and I'm glad that at least they're talking about it. The other thing is we had a meeting with the DEP commissioner and some of the aides. We talked about the plan as was presented to us and what we move forward. And we got exactly where the DEP stands on it. And then we had a conversation afterwards and recommended how we were going to proceed forward. And you probably know now by the mayor's press release that the plan as it was won't move forward. And we're okay with it. I think saying this too. That you know, we had to give them a plan to look at and say yes or no. And that's what they did. So it all worked out. I guess that was supposed to. It doesn't mean that we've given up. We still have to try to do other things, not just over there, but other places, to try to increase our rentals that come into this town to be able to keep taxes in. It's just a fact. Another thing is Manchester Day. I was at the concert that night. It was a great concert. If you like Germany especially, it was a really good concert. The crowd was big. The fireworks were terrific. So again, Tracy and her group over there did a great job of planning it. They've already started on next year's plan. And our police out there were great. And our first aides and fire departments that were out there, we thank them for coming out and supporting it and preventing anything else from happening. And last thing, if you haven't noticed in the paper, we've had a lot of accidents on that side. And other places too, but it's summertime, there's a lot of cars on the road, and you need to keep your eyes open because you don't know where somebody's turning in front of you or whatever that happens to be. So be careful. That's all I got.
Diane, I can see you.
Well, what I wanted to do, I wanted to piggyback
Oh, wait,
on,
wait.
oh, go ahead. I'm
Well,
sorry.
you were going to follow up.
I was just gonna
Craig.
follow up
She was going to get with Craig.
On the funding, yeah.
Okay.
This had just came out just within the last hour or so, that Christie has put up on the website on the funding fairness, what is it called, the fairness formula. And it's at www.newjersey.gov/tax relief. And what's important is it's gonna be an interactive website where you can go on and put in your property tax information, and you can find out what kind of savings that you would have by putting in whatever the amounts are, your value of your house and things like that. The other thing is there's an option in there to send something to the governor as to your support of the fairness formula. And also it just came out that he is going to be in Wall Township tomorrow at the municipal building to discuss the fairness formula. You do have to send a reservation in. I can take the website down.
Diane, the article I saw said it was in the mayor, on the county library.
They were saying Wall Township?
Well, in Wall Township,
Yeah, there is Wall Township.
not the municipal building.
Where you say under where?
It says the actual forum will get underway at 3:30 in what is the Wall Township Municipal Complex at 2700 Alair Road. The doors open up at 2:30, and you have to send an RSVP to fairnessforum.wall@newjersey.gov. You would be interested in going. It is first come, first served, or should be subject to, you can't bring any bags or anything like that with you. But I just wanted to, because this just came out, so.
You know, to even get it on a referendum, they gotta have a majority 7 and a majority assembly to get it that far.
Right.
So, and I don't think all the details are out yet, that's why we still haven't done our resolution, but it's gonna come out that we support it, probably. But, you know, we are a township that is very affected by this. We will see the big gains. There's some other towns that are way above us, and they have to be richer towns, or richer houses, whatever you want to call it. Because they're paying their whole bill for the basic education of the students. So there shouldn't be a house in Manchester that doesn't say, you know, I want fairness. Everyone should be either getting hold of their senator, their assemblyman, their governor, just to tell them, you know, we just want it fair. I don't want to have more than somebody else. I just want it to be fair. So when we get our resolution, we'll try to find some addresses where you can send letters or whatever it happens to be to either support it or against it, whatever you want to do. But if you live in Manchester, you shouldn't be supporting it. That's just me.
We're probably going to discuss bi-weekly, 2 resolutions relative to one, the governor, and also on foreclosure law, Senate Bill 2425. And what takes Sam's thunder?
That's okay. Thank you. So just 2 quick things. I won't cover things already covered, but Charles, Councilman Fratini, you also had an opportunity to dump Brendan now. So we were going to tank. You would have had to get into a line of about 20 little leaguers because they were just circling around. They throw their balls and they go right back in line. So I think we were in the tank more than we were on a chair. But,
Deservedly so.
yes. How's that? But, anyway, it was a wonderful day. The meeting of the Manchester Coordinating Council was today, their last meeting before they broke for the summer. And they had an attorney who represents many of the villages who did talk about Senate Bill 2545. And I have a package, Sam, I think you can get that to Sam. Maybe you can scan it, get copies, Angela, but it basically gave the Assembly counterpart all the details about it. And what it does is it allows fee simple communities. They don't have to be retirement communities, but just communities that if a home is abandoned or foreclosed, they have 2 options. One, they can petition the bank to go through a rapid settlement process. The indication was several months as opposed to several years, as we see now. Or the other was to have the bank identify a property manager who would actually be responsible to get a rental tenant into that until the property was sold. And then from the rent, would be paying all the HOA fees, all the maintenance fees, all the other things. So again, not only do we have a potential act through the state legislature that will significantly hit Manchester. This is another one that indicated already has a lot of bipartisan support that will eliminate one of the biggest problems we're having in the retirement communities is that when a house is abandoned, the HOA fees stop being paid, and then there's not enough to do everything that needs to be done. So again, I'd like to see that possibly on the next 2.5 as well. And like Brendan, I will be out of state at the next meeting. My wife's family is having a family reunion in Alabama. So we're going down to the land of mosquitoes and jellyfish and all the other bad things that are coming up to Jersey. So I will not be here from it, so we'll need to confirm we'll have 3 people in our seats or we won't have a vote.
So far, we have 3 people, one's a maybe.
Mr. Fusaro, are you taking your banjo with you?
No, because the airline, they charge a lot for a large instrument, but I'm sure the cousins have plenty of banjos to be there. That's it, Mr. President.
Okay. On the 20th of June, myself and Councilman Pizarro attended the bi-weekly meeting, and this meeting is used for preparation of tonight's meeting. On the 25th, all the councilmen, our wives and our family attended the Manchester Day, which was held at Harry Red Lake. I personally thank Tracy Lynch and her staff and extended a personal thank you to the council for providing our residents, their families, a great Manchester Day that will be well remembered. I also have a promise from Tracy that it will be getting better and better and better each year. Everyone enjoyed the food, the crafts, the various contests, sands of DJ Cass, dancing to the top entertainment of Julian and Dominique, Tusk, the Fleetwood Mac tribute band, and with a culmination of the fireworks in the evening. This afternoon, Councilman Pizarro, myself, and Mrs. Vaccaro attended the Manchester Coordinating Council meeting held at Village 5. We already covered the details. The meeting was well attended, as always conducted in a well-organized manner and very brief and meaningful. And thank you, Larry. Donna?
As Sam had stated, I'd just like to note the retirement of Don Somerset effective June 30th. He had 19 years with the town, and I'd like to thank him for all his hard work and long days. And he's probably the smartest man I know. And on that note, he was the director of utilities. We have a little situation with water restriction. You may have received notice from the mayor about that. And it'll be effective tomorrow. It'll be odd and even ordering. So if your house is number 12, then it's going to be on even day. Again, on Facebook, we put the notice on Facebook, on the township website. There was an Nixle alert, okay? But specifically, you just can't order between 10 and 5, even if you are allowed to order on that day, can't exceed 30 minutes. And all the specifics are on here, so take a look at the website, the township website, whatever other meetings that you might find us at. And the other thing was that the mayor is not here. He apologizes. He did have a previous engagement. He knows the heritage mineral issue is still a hot topic, and he just wants you to know that he still believes it's in Manchester's best interest to revisit the 2004 settlement agreement for alternative plans. And they have already begun doing that by speaking with Hudson further to try to come up with that alternate plan.
Is that east and west?
Oh, sorry, that's only east side of town. Thank you.
If I can just add, there were, on the phone call, there were a lot of exemptions. So you really need to go to the full detailed website to see, because if you plant sod, there's a lot of exemptions. So just be prepared.
No, I just want to say Manchester Day was very enjoyable. We had a really good time. I think it was done very well. We're there every year. And I'm thankful that I still have my job after dunking Nelson. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there. But no, it was really...
Majority vote.
Yeah, you're stuck with me. But no, it was a great day. I thought it was really done well. Being on the committee, and one of the original people did the first Manchester Days with Councilman Fusaro. Looking forward to it getting better and better, and I think we had much more, we have better weather, so I think that was part of the reason we didn't have to cancel and move to another day, so that held out for us, so we're grateful for that. That's
Thank you. Jody?
I'm good, thank you.
I will now open the floor to the public to comment on any issue.
Edward Lynch, Country Walk. First, I'd like to report on Manchester First Aid Rescue Squad CPR saves on May 29th. Members were Felix Ortiz and Anne Marie Luciani and Christine Valicani. And we have a quality assurance program. When we go on call, or for that matter, if somebody walks up to the rig, the one we're at Manchester Day, we ask them to give us their feelings, how we treated them, good, bad, or indifferent, and many, many people respond. Well, a lady who lives, I redacted the name because of the HIPAA regulations. The letter was written to our president. This is interesting for a volunteer organization, some of the comments that this lady made. This is a letter expressing my appreciation to you and your super fantastic EMT specialists, Bill and Arthur. At 4 a.m. on May 20th, I experienced a very serious nosebleed. These two men arrived with experience, confidence, and compassion. Bill quickly pinched my nose to stop the bleeding, warned me not to tilt my head back, and asked me to do what to do in the future. Arthur took my blood pressure and waited patiently, ready to assist. Both men were most professional in everything they did. On May 24th at 3:55 a.m., I had another serious nosebleed. My husband rushed home from work, took care of me as best he could, and called Manchester First Aid and Rescue Squad again. This time, 3 wonderful women EMT specialists arrived in their ambulance. Caroline R., Caroline B., and Angel K. immediately tended to my needs and rushed me to Community Medical Center. They were all experts calming us down, checking and helping me. It was beautiful just to watch them working together. These specialists should be rewarded for their professionalism, talent, compassion, and love. I promised these 5 experts that I would ask you to, 1, triple their salaries. Buy them a new car, buy them a new house, buy them a new house. If you cannot do any of these things, please put my letter of gratitude in their files. The next time their evaluation for job performance comes up, please remember me and all the other people that these 2 wonderful lifesavers are helping in our community. I would hate to think about where we would be without these 5 specialists. You and the rest of your fantastic squad. Thank you all for being here for us, for all of us, and keeping up the great work. And then she gave us a $20 donation. Now, speaking about the non-paid people, personally, I want to speak about a couple of the paid guys, police officers. 2 weeks ago, I was on a call to a motor vehicle crash on Route 70, just east of Green Acres Road on the westbound side. The car was just over the white line. The white line. Anyway, my body was actually in the roadway. If it weren't for police officer Michael Lynch protecting us, mostly me, I probably would have left the scene because it wasn't safe. But he took care of us. Same day, we were on a call to a seizure patient, and we had paramedics with us, and we had all sorts of gear, paramedics gear. Our cop and Officer Conklin helped carry some of the heavy loads. He especially takes care of me because I'm the oldest one on the squad. Thanks very much.
Ed, one thing I would like you to explain to the audience, the new law that protects the emergency personnel when they're on call, the policemen plus the first aiders and firemen.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Larry Lee, Country Walk. As you told me, MCC is closed for the summer, but I want to thank Jim Vaccaro and Sam Fasaro for all the support you've given us through the years. Also, Country War has had problems with solicitor, we had water, stuff for access road. What's the access, which one there? I want to thank Jim for her help, I sent emails out, Donna for her help, Sam, and also Ward Adler. You've helped us a lot in Country War. Thank you.
The reflectors are okay, right? The reflectors are okay?
Huh?
Reflectors.
No, we're on
They're reflectors, that's it, yeah,
it. They're not okay, they're down.
they're down.
We're working on it.
We're working.
Work in process.
Yes.
Anyone else from the public? I'd now like to close that portion of the meeting. I'm asking for a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk, I got roll call.
Mr. Gardini?
Yes.
Mr. Weiner?
Yes.
Mr. Lucero?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace? And Mr. Vaccaro?
Yes.
We are
We're
adjourned.
now adjourned, and I thank everyone for coming to the meeting.